In tonight's headlines, diners may have to fork out more as restaurants pass on extra costs from waste sewage disposal. Paediatrician Mike Kwan warns children risk a tridemic of flu, COVID, and respiratory syncytial virus infection. And Hong Kong's hopes of advancing in the Asian Cup diminish after their second successive defeat.
The catering industry expects that diners will have to pay more when the waste charging scheme is implemented on August 1st. Taking to the airwaves, Simon Wong, president of the Federation of Restaurants and Related Trades, said small eateries will have to spend at least $1,000 more a month under the measure. The waste disposal charge for large restaurants is expected to be over $10,000. Wong believes that the extra operational costs will translate into higher prices for customers. He added that the catering trade needs more time to understand the scheme, which had been scheduled to start on April 1st. But it has been postponed by 4 months after the government admitted that many people are confused about the user pay policy, which is aimed at reducing waste. With Hong Kong entering the fluke peak season, there's been a rise in the number of children admitted to hospital. Paediatrician Mike Kwan said this has added pressure on public hospitals, with staff having to allocate beds flexibly because COVID is also increasing. Kwan noted that some parents do not consider flu to be a big deal, but he cautioned that in a worst-case scenario, flu could cause encephalitis. This will make children delirious, and they will be unable to talk or eat.
就算救得返條命咧，有啲好永久性嘅腦部嘅損害，一啲好長期。
Even if we can save the patient's lives, there will be permanent brain damage, Kwan said. He warned that in coming months, children could be threatened by tridemic, flu, COVID, and respiratory syncytial virus infection. Kwan urged people in vulnerable groups to get inoculated and maintain good personal hygiene, such as washing hands thoroughly.
You need to wash the whole of your hand, like the fingertips and all the finger creases and also the wrist area. Those are the most important. And if you perform all the personal hygienic measures and with vaccination, you can surely protect yourself against these virus infections.
Kwan advised the public to receive BioNTech jabs instead of Sinovac, as BioNTech is more effective against the new COVID variant. Janice Low, Cable News. The Law Society has revealed that it received 16 misconduct complaints related to the now-defunct 612 Humanitarian Relief Fund, which provided assistance to anti-government protesters.
接獲咗16宗有關嘅投訴嘅。
10 of the cases have entered the audit process as investigations have been completed, according to Society President Chan Chak-ming. He said they included both substantiated and unsubstantiated complaints, but the details would only be disclosed later. Some complaints have to be passed to the disciplinary tribunal panel, but those involved can appeal. Chan noted that the Bar Association had earlier cleared 38 barristers of professional misconduct related to the fund. But he emphasized that the Law Society and the Bar Association are different in nature and did not carry out the same investigation. One day after a deadly fire in a school dormitory in the central province of Henan, the authorities are trying to find the answers to how it started. 13 young students were killed and 1 was injured in the blaze which broke out in the male dormitory late last night. 16 other children escaped unhurt. The fire in the private primary school in Nanyang City was put out after half an hour. The person in charge of the school has been detained.
US President Joe Biden says a two-state solution is still possible even if Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu remains in power. Biden's statement came after he spoke to Netanyahu for the first time in nearly a month. The Israeli leader opposes a Palestinian state and wants to control security in the region.
There are a number of types of two-state solutions. There's a number of countries that are members of the UN that are still don't have their own militaries. A number of states that have limitations on it. And so I think there's ways in which this could work.
Biden's talk with Netanyahu came as the Palestinian death toll in Israel's bombardment of Gaza reached nearly 25,000. Meanwhile, another communications blackout in Gaza forced many Palestinians to head to the coast for an internet connection. In Israel, relatives of hostages held by Hamas protested outside Netanyahu's home to demand a deal to secure their release, with one man staging a hunger strike.
Babies born in Gaza are being delivered into hell, according to UNICEF, the United Nations Agency for Children. Parents struggle to find food and medicines, and Israeli bombings remain a constant threat. Following the Israeli offensive 3 months ago, ill-equipped hospitals in Gaza have been carrying out cesarean sections without anesthetics. Many stillborn babies were unable to be delivered because medical staff are overworked.
Nearly 20,000 babies have been born into war. That's a baby born into this horrendous war about every 10 minutes. Becoming a mother should be a time of celebration. But in Gaza, it's another child delivered into hell. Nurse Webda has performed emergency cesareans on 6 dead women in the last 8 weeks. She tells me there are also more miscarriages now because of the unhealthy air and smoke due to the bombing. And this has happened more times than I can count. The situation of pregnant women and newborns in the Gaza Strip is beyond belief, and it demands intensified and immediate actions.
Icy conditions in many parts of the United States have been blamed for at least 41 deaths. More than 80 million Americans in 30 states are on alert for cold or snowy weather. Philadelphia announced a snow emergency, closed schools, and ordered city officials to help maintain public safety. But some in the city were happy with the weather.
I think the positive point of coming out on a snow day is that there's nobody around, so you don't have to wait to see things like the Rocky statue, when normally during the summer there's a line a mile long to get in and just take a picture. And there's not really anybody walking in front of you or on the roads in front of you, so you just kind of can go wherever.